Welcome back to the Half a Day Show. I'm your host, Jay Halfaday, the flyest man on the internet. And today we have another episode of Behind the Brand. It's been a minute. But joining us today, we have community curator, content creator, entrepreneur. Do you call yourself an influencer? Nah, not an influencer. Mr. Chicago, Mr. Stay Near. Please welcome Kevin White.
What's the word? How y'all doing?
How'd I do in the intro?
Huh?
How'd I do in the intro?
Good. Yes, I like it. I haven't had an intro like that ever. So yeah,
I did. It's in my notes. But y'all, like I said, it's been a minute, so I'm gonna catch you up because you haven't done one of these. This is an interview series where I talk to different creatives, academics, entrepreneurs, anybody really that has an interesting story, and I bring them on the show because I want to spotlight not just what they're doing, but who they are behind the brand.
Is this camera on me?
I hope so. So I think you talk a lot about the importance and the value of community and connection.
Yeah.
What does your community look like, and how did you begin nurturing that? Take me back from the beginning. Where did that start?
Yeah. I would say like it really started when I was like a young kid. My mom would always tell me like people used to gravitate towards me, especially just like in grammar school through high school, like all of those things. So more so it's coming from like my mom and my dad. Like I would see how they would connect with anybody. My mom, like she could make a friend out of anybody. So she does a lot of solo traveling and whatnot. And she'll call me, send me pictures, just like, hey, just met 4 new girlfriends out here, So I just kind of seen just like through life, you build connections. So I feel like it's very easy for me to connect with anybody and like see people's like different stories. That's what's very cool, just to not stay in your own like lane and your box. I feel like people do that. So like you're only exposed to what you know versus seeing like different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different like, whether it's, how much people like make and like how they kind of like grew up. So I like to just be around so many different people. And then naturally, as I've started to like build out events, it's all of what I just said, like in real time. So I could see people like, whether it's a Black person, a white person, Hispanic, Asian, whatnot, all coming together. And it just feels good just to see like you could bring all of these people in a room together, having a great time, and then also leaving with new connections. So it started, like I said, very like young in that aspect. Yeah.
That's a great answer. Very PR. Yeah, go and tell us the real answer. That is the real answer. I'm messing with you. But it's like you did make a good point there, talking about connection and sort of leaning into your own personal skills. Did you always know that it was going to be a business interest? Like, have you always had that business mind behind it, or did it happen sort of organically?
It happened organically. I've always been like a curious mind, just like to try different things. I have always been, people have called me like the life of the party, like since I've been in like high school and whatnot. So it wasn't up until like 3 years ago. I was like, okay, like how can I really like start to like bring people together? How can I create different spaces and like make a like long, like lasting impact? Something like me and my dad talk about. It's just like the walk of life of a man is very hard, but like it's up to you to make something of yourself. So that's kind of like after I turn like 25, 26, I'm like, all right, I'm in my mid 20s. Like, what can I get into that's really going to be like impactful for real?
So you did mention your dad a few times here. Is that somebody that you look up to in this? Do you have a hospitality background in your family?
I would say kind of, sort of. So like my dad and my uncle, for example, my uncle used to host like these crazy like all white parties. So like he would host 3 like in the summer. So he would do like Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July, and then his birthday in August. So we would be, we'll call it what it is. Like he essentially lived at like a very like big like mansion kind of. So when we were younger, like me and my cousins, we would be at the party and it would be like 500 to 600 people there. And so like when, you're 10, 11 years old, you're like, oh, like this is cool. Like, they have all these people here. But like now, like when I'm looking back on it, I'm like, the fact that you're able to organize 500, 600 people, they used to have like the local, like he lived in Addison. So like the Addison PD would come like shut down the block. They would be at the party. They would have valet and whatnot. So thinking about like those operations, like that logistics, I'm like, wait, like they were actually doing something for real. Like they were hosting like events. So I pay like homage to that. And then like now it's just more so, for example, my dad is in Vegas like right now. They've been going to Vegas every single year since my dad was like 23, 24. So it's more so like as you get older as well, he talks about like community and just bringing people together. The first time I went, there was like 150 of them, just like they look forward to that. So it's more so like they were in like the hospitality space, I think on accident, but not to like what I'm doing now.
That's a great way of putting it,
Yeah.
and that's really sort of how the best businesses comes
Yeah.
on accident. There is an intentionality that comes into it after you start doing
Right.
it, but you can't really get caught up in that paralysis of analysis, right?
Right.
So you did mention community, and it sort of seems like it's a buzzword going around the internet and TikTok a whole bunch of time. What does it actually mean to have community? What is your ideal community? What is your community? What does a KW community look like?
Yeah. So like to your first point, like I think they like to throw around the word community just because one, like you said, it's a buzzword. It could, get people's attention. Because I think what happened coming out of COVID, that isolation for a lot of people,
Yeah.
really messed them up on social interaction, whether they even want to put themselves out there or maybe they're losing connections and friends. Like think about people that didn't even really get a college experience. They had to do that, online. So to me, community, I kind of have strayed away from that word, like using it so much, like, but it's more so like the experience. So that's why like KWEXP, like I want people to come in and naturally feel like this isn't something like on a regular weekend or whatever day, like I'm hosting something, like it feels special for you. Going back to your point, community to me, like that's why like I act as the host of the event. Even like through my social media, I am constantly talking like every day, something, whether it's an Instagram story, Instagram reel, like on TikTok. And then like when people come to the event, I'm a regular person. People like to put, they tie too much value to like numbers, like towards people's names. I'm like, you could come talk to me like at any point. So I like to be like the social butterfly of the event as well, because then I could connect people. So like if I know you and there's two dudes that like they want to talk to me, we can make a little community in the event, talk for about 5-10 minutes if I need to move around in that,
And that should click for them.
Right. Exactly. So, there's a lot of different ways that we can describe community, but for the sake of just like, in a general speaking for events, I just want people to feel welcomed, right? So a welcoming environment, a safe environment, somewhere where you can actually like meet somebody. It doesn't have to be your next relationship or whatnot. It could be a business, partner. It could be, somebody that, I don't like to use the word transplant, but, somebody that's fresh to the city, 5 other people that are fresh to the city. Now they know, like, if I go to such and such event, if I go to KWEXP, like, I'm going to meet 5 new people that now can be, like, friends that I wouldn't have before.
100%. And that's a true story, too. Literally, like, my first week in Chicago, I met this man. I'm like, oh, this the nigga for TikTok. I'm like, I see this new video. They're like, yeah, gotta go to the Red Room. I seen the Red Room when I was back in DC.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what the hell is it? I'm here. Like, we came out in November. I'm like, damn, ain't no Red Room? All right. Okay. Flash forward to March. All right. Red Room is here.
Yeah.
Pop out with Kofi.
Yeah.
We go there. It's hot as hell. But it was a time.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, I don't even think it was the Red Room. It was one at a Blind Barber, actually, I think. Like the little happy hour. What was it?
We did the happy hour, like literally like the week after you came to the Red Room first. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, I came to that and it's like, he really is out there talking and introducing you to everybody. It's like, that's how I met Rudy and everybody. So I'm like, really is. That's the way that you make people feel welcome, is you go up and talk to people. And I do feel like that's a piece of, nightlife and events experiences that has been lacking or missing from a lot of events. I feel like sometimes people come up with a methodology or a recipe and they tend to stick to it and forget the aspect of hospitality.
Correct.
What do you think about that?
I mean, realistically, like what's happening to nightlife, and especially like for Black people in itself, and like I like explaining and talking about this because from a consumer's like standpoint, they don't really like think too hard into it. So for example, like we don't own the clubs,
Right.
We don't own the venues. So it would be different if this was my establishment. You wouldn't have let's say a ticket price or whatnot, but there's a lot of fees and whatnot. So besides that point, there are a lot of different things that, just like you said, once somebody kind of finds something that works for them, they will stick to it, period. Versus whether you're open to feedback. I'm always open to like quality feedback. Like what's something that you want to see? you know, versus like, nah, like I'm going to stick to this and this is what it's going to be. Like after that, the experience could get watered down, especially like if you up your frequency, you know, so because you're not even catering towards, you know, really the hospitality aspect anymore. It's more so just like you trying to hit numbers, you know, especially as anything like the quantity increases as far as events, things will get watered down. So there's a lot of different moving like pieces, but the first thing that I always tell people, like, we don't own the venues. There's only so much that we can control, especially if we're trying to put on something grand. Right. For example, yeah, there's a lot of conversations that are happening that people don't see. There's a lot of out-of-pocket expenses that people don't see.
A lot of overhead.
Yes, there's a lot of things that people don't understand, but once they get to the function itself, you know, that's all they see. Like, oh, this was a great time, but we could be planning something for 2.5, 3 months. Nobody even knows that.
So that brings me to a great question I've asked every single guest that I've had on this show. So in your lane and in your experience, you know, with hospitality, events, community curation, what have you, do you think it's more important development? Like, which do you think is more important, the development of the event or the delivery?
I would say the development. So like, for example, like I'm going to use delivery in the sense of marketing, right? So like somebody could have A1 fire marketing, you know, a great promo video, things like that. So like I'm bringing you, this is what it is. But once I actually get to said event, it doesn't correlate to what I've seen on the internet. Versus like how I look at how I'm going to break down development is if I want to host something for New Year's Eve, for example, this might be a process that starts, let's say today, and it's a 4.5 month process of like really putting a timeline together. Like, so once we get to New Year's Eve, everything is in alignment, right? Versus me just kind of being lazy in the sense like, oh, I got 140,000 followers on TikTok. I got, you know, 3 Instagrams. My main Instagram got 23,000. Like, I could just put something together, boom, you know, and it looks sexy, but I didn't really put any of the work in. So the development to me is always like the most important thing, because once you get people in the room and if it's sloppy, oh, they will get on that phone.
And they will make a TikTok. 100%.
They will get on that phone.
Why I hate the Red Bull.
Exactly.
That's a great answer, though. But I did want to back up just a little bit and go back to that aspect of community. Because when you are nurturing and, you know, expanding your community, sometimes you run into the wrong crowd. How do you go about navigating who's welcome at a KW event? Who's welcome around you when it comes to like friends and like, people that you collaborate with?
Yeah. I'm very big on collaboration. I like partnering with people just because, one, it's a creativity thing as well. Like I could be looking at something like this in this lane and you could be looking at it totally different, but it makes sense. So I'm like, oh, like I never thought about that. As far as like the crowd and people that are there, that's not anything that I even really care to control, just because, one, if I'm speaking personally, like my name gets pushed so much in Chicago, so I have so much exposure to so many different people. I think it's just like how anybody shows up on the internet. So like we'll use what you said, like delivery. So like it's how, whether it's my marketing, whether it's like the branding around things like that I say, you know. So I'm very careful with my words because that also just attracts like certain people or whatnot. I always say everybody is welcome, but I might not be for you, right? So like people have come like to set events like, this is great, but this isn't what I'm looking for. That's cool, you know. Like you can't you can't appeal to 100% of the crowd at all times. Sometimes, like if I might be on TikTok live or people, I'll do like a questionnaire on Instagram. They'll ask me like, what is the age range or whatnot? So like I give it to them based on data, right? You know, based on the data, it's 25 to 35. I'm like, and if I break it down more, it's really that 27 to 31. Right. So like that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see, you know, I've had people in their late 30s, early 40s come kick it, and they rock with it just because nothing ever happens. It's just a great time. It's, you know, quality music that can meet, you know, some certain people and just vibe. I have people that are 21, 22, fresh out of college. They say, you know, fuck the bar scene. We're going to go to this curated event. So I think it's just how you show up on the internet. And that's why like I'm very like personable on the internet versus everything is just like a flyer. So then you don't know.
You made a good point though, talking about, I think specifically the 21 to 23-year-old fresh out of college.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there is a shift and the Air and Water show is going on?
We're under attack.
Do you feel like there is a shift, you know, amongst nightlife for young professionals, young adults, or whatever, as opposed to going to the club to going to more curated events and stuff like that? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I mean, so
Or is the club always going to be the club?
it will be, but at the same time, like when I was 21, 22, 23, like running around like River North, um, there was no like curated events, like for real. And even if they were, I didn't know about them. Versus, and that's a testament, like TikTok wasn't around. Even Instagram was that you were on Instagram, but like
Right. They had flyers, but it was
right,
in the club.
and that's what I'm saying. They were for the club, right? So I feel like people, and I was just talking about this on Fox. It's like people want to be more intentional with their actual night out. Even
on their money.
even at a younger age, you know, things are becoming more expensive. So if I go to the club and it's a $40 cover, I don't know if it's ever gonna get busy. They're just charging me that versus I could pay a 25, you know, $30 ticket, but I know like the quality of people that are gonna be in there. But also like there's gonna be a guarantee like that it will get, if you're looking for like that lit aspect, there will be people here. So I think it's just being more intentional with what you're doing. I'm seeing a lot of like young professionals as well. They're like, nah, like I just don't want to go to a random bar. I would rather get this experience, and I know X, Y, this is gonna happen. Whether we're doing, you know, quality photos, whether there's a giveaway, whether it's just the music, the DJ. I could see all of this beforehand, so I know what I'm gonna expect.
Facts. So I think on that other aspect of community, which is still intentional, I think Issa Rae has spoken about this at large, which is about the aspect of networking across. And this goes into your point about collaboration as well. How do you sort of navigate or select who that you want to partner with? How do you make sure that it is something that you're getting something out of? Because we are in a very transactional generation.
Yeah.
How do you find that balance of, you know, I want to work with everybody, but I can't work with everybody because it's like, I have to get something out here, you know?
Right. So I think collaboration, one, like I said, is very important. But also like realistically from a business standpoint, it has to make sense. So like you have to be bringing something that maybe I can't do. So like the one thing that I say as far as like in Chicago for real, I have so much exposure. Right. So that's a sense of marketing. So like that front, anytime, that's why a lot of people want to like work with me too. They're like, oh shit, like I can get exposed to XYZ, do this, you know. If they did said event and let's say they book a venue for 300 people and they have a hard time getting 50, 60 people there versus, you know, they attach my name to it and they'll be fine. So one, it's the sense of what can you bring me? How I look at partnership, plenty of people are very good like operations and logistics, which I'm fine with that. I just don't care to do that. I would rather hone in on the marketing and all of that.
Yeah, that's your background too, ain't it?
Yeah.
I must be up on lit there, nigga.
So like, I would rather like, you know, do things like that. Like people like ask me about certain things. I'm like, I could be teasing something for 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, to put something out there that I know I want to do next year in February. And I just lightly tease it, you know, whatever. So whether it's operations, logistics, whether it's partnerships, whether it's different ideas that like I haven't thought about. So maybe that's like, oh yeah, we're adding talent. Oh, I'm bringing in, you know, this, you know, DJ with a lot of buzz that's going to provide more exposure. It's like different ideas, but also like, I say what it is, like you have to be somewhat established as well. A lot of people, they want to partner with me and I'm like, okay, what have you done? Not in a like in a, you know, bad way, but like
It has to be a credibility.
right, like if you haven't done anything, like you're really just using me to get you going. So it just has to be mutually beneficial, but also what I look for is people that can handle certain things that now I don't even have to worry about that because you got that to a T.
It's a given. It has to be too automatic.
Right, exactly.
Do you feel like you have a duty to the people you're in community with to put them in a place to succeed?
Yeah, I would say, and that's what I was starting off, like I wouldn't say it's an obligation. It's more so like something that I want to do. So something that my guys over at Strictly Vibes, like they talk about, they're very smart.
Shout out to Strictly Vibes.
Yeah, shout out to Strictly Vibes. They understand, and they told me this from the jump. This is like, we're in the same industry, same, you know, lane as far as events and curating things. So even if they want to do something, and this is how they break it down, like we might want to do something for 4th of July. We understand that we could possibly be taking on a risk just because you might want to do something on 4th of July. right? So it's more so that's why like I like tying the dots and working with people. Anybody I've talked to as far as in Chicago as well, and then I'll get back to the question. I'm kind of doing a little segue. I'll be like, yo, like, send me your calendar or let me know what you got in the pipeline because I don't have to do something if, like, let's say somebody wants to do something very large for them, right? And I just don't care because I don't know, and I do something on the same day you're trying to do it. So now it's a tug of war effect of people like, that seems cool because, like, it could be, but I'm going to go over here because I know it's already established or I know, like, what to expect over here, this, that, the third.
I'll tell you, that's P. A lot of niggas do not care.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. So I think it's a push and pull. So it's more so like understanding like from a business aspect, like I'll sit down with anybody because they like to talk to me about like social media and like how to really like use it, you know, and that form of marketing. I don't give everything to every single person because I'm obviously aware that we're operating in the same space.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, oh, wait, if we could actually partner and align, this was like the partnership, like with Elevate Social, like what we did for Juneteenth, like Elevate, they reached out to me March, right? So I was like, okay, like we could do some larger different things because realistic, like 300 to 400 people is very calm, like to me, right? 150, 200 is a no brainer. But once you get to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, that's not a one man job.
Nope.
You know, so partnership like that, now we can sit down like, oh yeah, I do XYZ like this. Like even that you know this information, it's okay. Versus like me trying to put 50 new event curators on. Like I don't even have the bandwidth to want to do that or can do that.
Or to manage it.
But I also like to put people in, especially like in events, what I say is like events themselves, like boom, you have events, but then you have subcategories. So like I could tell somebody everything that I do because it's a lane that does not affect me whatsoever, right? So to kind of answer that question like fully, yes, I like to help people. I know there's plenty of people that don't feel obligated. I think it's a way to give back just because how often people come up to me, young kids. I was just at Chicago Summer Series and a young kid, he came up to me, I've been watching you on TikTok for 2 years. Like, you got 5 minutes for me? Of course. I love shit like that.
Especially for the next generation.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a couple like young event curators as well. One, shout out Michael. I went to Malik Shachu, his art show, and he just came up to me. He was like, I love everything that you're doing. Like, you're inspiration. Like, shit like that means so much. And he hosted his first event. I think their age range was like 18 to like 22. And just seeing that, I was like,
shout out to the homie.
Right. I was like, damn, like I probably had a part of that just by giving you game. And he reaches out to me here and there. He just reached out to me. He was like, can you give me some feedback? So I'm like, that's fire because he could become one of the best curators ever. You never know. And I could have had a part of that. So,
and even if he doesn't, you still do your part as a community member. I feel like it is, you know, the people we're in community with, I feel like it's like the social contract, you know. Each one reach one, teach one, reach one, however the expression goes. But also with that, though, there is a self-protection that you have to have with it. What are your thoughts on gatekeeping?
I think gatekeeping is good.
Say it again.
I think gatekeeping is good, and it was something that, like, kind of I just said, like, you can't give everything away because then you're just giving all of you to somebody else. And realistically, from a business standpoint, if I give everything like that let's say, things that have worked for me and I give it to somebody else, let's say they do it 10 times better than me. So then who am I now? You know, so like, I don't mind when people gatekeep things, whether it's a connection to a venue, it's a connection to a sponsor or whatnot, because certain things are going to make you unique to yourself. I feel like there's plenty of information and plenty of different things that you can provide to somebody without, we'll call it like, was the Krabby Patty season? The formula, like the crab. He couldn't get a formula out because then like, what is?
Niggas going to the chump.
And then they go to somebody's, you know? So yeah, like I think gatekeeping is good. I think everybody gatekeeps, but there's a way to connect and give information effectively without, like I said, we'll call it your secret sauce away.
Not everybody can be in the gym with Olajuwon.
Yeah.
Somebody got to go work with Charles Barkley. Exactly. Yes. You feel me? Do it your own way.
Right.
But we're going to take a little quick pivot real quick because I feel like it is equally important, to understand the game, but it's also important to understand you as a person. How do you express yourself creatively? What are some of your outlets? I know you're a hooper, you're into anime. How else do you express yourself when it comes to like creativity?
Yeah, it's funny just like how my brain works and how it's evolved like over the years. So like the first thing that I like tell people, as far as a question that I've gotten is like, how do you just create so many talking videos? How do you even find ways to structure, all of that? So creativity like first started for me in the sense of like I love like talking, I love topics. Like one Twitter. Right. I have like a little photo album on my phone of just screenshots of it, just like me. Topic. I got So I used to do that like 3 years ago. Like anything I would see, I'm like, oh, I could talk about that. And it didn't have to be that day. It can be a month from now.
Got this shit in my
Right. I could talk about it. So that's one. But two, it's something that you said, like, I love anime. Right. I love anime. I feel like anime is, and I tell people like they look at it as like cartoon, but with
story.
It's literally like anime is storytelling. So like especially like the good ones. So like the raw emotion you could feel from anime, like it doesn't hit sometimes it doesn't hit as hard as far as like real like world actors because the actor could be bad. Right? Animation is just like no, like this is what it is. Like you're gonna feel that emotion. You're gonna feel the scene. Like you're gonna feel
too.
Right. Right. You're gonna react to it. You're gonna feel it. So anime is one like Twitter, but also I think a lot of creativity like flows through me very organically because I disassociate from the phone every single day.
Oh yeah.
So there's like an hour every single day. It's not like a set time where I'm just, oh no, I'm off the phone. And then I just like play music and just like be in my own thoughts in a world where we get opinions.
Everything is online.
We get opinions every day. I'm like, okay, like, but how does my brain like actually work? I'll just be thinking about like, how would I deal with this? How would I deal with this situation, like, or a said topic? Like, what would I do in this situation versus trying to see what somebody else in South Dakota feels about it, which a lot of people, they let that program how they would, handle it. So, a lot of things for me, real talk, is just being in your own, like being like comfortable in your own self and like seeing like how you would actually like operate in the real world. So disassociation, a lot of things like from Twitter, just like grabbing, we'll call it like, clips of things, but also like anime as well. Anime, me and my cousins have grown up with anime. We thought Dragon Ball Z was just the cartoon. Just like, oh, like, this is the cartoon.
Niggas did not know anime was a thing. We was just watching it on Toonami.
Right, on Toonami, late night. Like that's just what we were watching. So anime has been something that I feel like has like allowed me to mold like myself. If like even certain marketing things on my Instagram story, it'll be anime. It'll be women have said that. They was like, I don't even know nothing about anime, but sometimes when I see it, I know you about to lock in with something. So like that's also going back to training your consumer as well. So I think anime has really allowed me to be very creative over the years.
The last question we have here today is, what is your biggest dream and how do you accomplish it?
Tough question. Biggest dream, it's funny, like what like my parents have seen from like my progression on the internet, and I'll talk about my mom like quickly. So like when my mom first like got exposed to like my TikTok, she's like, this is cool, like whatnot. Started to come to like certain events. And then like when she seen me on the news a couple days ago, we were just talking about it, and she was like, do you like really understand like how insane this is, just like as a mother, to like be watching my son in a positive light like on television? She was like, I would have never thought that. I try to not like, I don't want to say glorify, but sometimes like I'll like humble myself because like so many people reach out to me like, bro, like you were just on the news for real, so like I don't think I have like right now like a biggest goal or biggest dream. Like really like how I look at life is something I said, like I'm having so much fun with it, right? So I want so much for myself. 2 years ago, if you would have told me I would have be hosting some of the largest events in Chicago and whatnot, I'd be like, I wouldn't see that. So I think it's more so like I just want to do as many things as I possibly can. what I'm very passionate about is speaking and talking to people. I feel like there is a lane for myself in some way, shape, or form to like really like amass a crazy audience. I don't know what that looks like yet, but that's something that I enjoy talking about. Even like the feedback that I get from certain events that I do is just like people are like, this is what the city needs, or like people coming together in a positive light. So on the surface, to someone answer the question, when people hear my name, I just want to be damn near like a beacon of light for certain people. To really get into it, I want to like build like an insane like platform around like speaking about like positive things, whether that's helping people, uplifting things. There's plenty of different things I do in the community that people don't even know, because certain things like they don't have to always be discussed. But one, it's more so things that I'm doing in Chicago. It's just like we're changing like the narrative on things in Chicago, especially for people in their 20s and their 30s. The social aspect, on my event page, I have it. I'm like revamping the social scene. So really just want to like uplift the city as much as possible. But also, like I said, I want to amass a crazy audience around like topics, talking, and just like re-engineering just like people's thoughts on, one, social, but two, exposure like to the world itself.
100%. And I see it for you, bro. Is there anything that people should be on the lookout for? What are they looking for?
Look out. Summer send-off.
All white tee.
Summer send-off with Elevate Social, August 31st, all white, off-white.
I wish I had the bomb.
Neutrals.
The bomb. If you in Chicago right now, go in and register.
That's what I'm saying. August 31st, though. It'll probably be what I have said, like working with Elevate. Obviously, I'm speaking in a sense of, in a way, because like I'm a part of it. But I definitely feel like the two events that we've done together have been two of the best events of the year. People have said that. The denim event that we did, I still have people posting recaps and videos from that. So I feel like this event will be very good for the city. We have a lot in store. I just want people to come out. I mean, we're going to have so many people there.
So I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah, come have a good time. August 31st, all white, off-whites, neutrals, the summer send-off. Looking forward to it.
Where can the people follow you?
Instagram at kevin.p.white, and then TikTok at kevin.preston.white.
KW Experiences as well.
There we go, KW Experience page. But
Stay tuned.
You'll find it on Instagram.
A lot coming up. But as always, this has been an episode of the Half a Day Show, bringing you education, entertainment, and everything in between. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Maybe next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.